What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful day today. 6:43 in the morning. 70 degrees. Very nice. Feels very nice today. So we're gonna make some coffee right now. I have hot water here. I have a cup, and then I have some coffee. Organo. Right. This is premium quality. I highly recommend this product. I've had it many times in the past. Organogold.com. ORGANOGOLD.com. COM. They come in little packets. Little packets. Get that. So this expires February 2027. Very fresh. Very fresh. But everything is in here. Coffee, I think mushroom extract. Mix it in. So if you see this in the store, Supreme Coffee, pick it up. Unique, robust, gourmet. This is gourmet coffee. So take a look again. I don't know if it shows in there. Very good smelling coffee. That's good. Delicious. Now, it has the coffee flavor in there, but it also tastes a little different too. So it's a unique flavor, but I like it. Very good. So slept well last night. I mean, I sleep on my time within minutes. You know, you get into bed and all of a sudden, boom, you could feel the drowsiness kicking in. And then, I don't know what it is, every, 250, 300 nights that you sleep well, there's going to be one of those insomnia nights that you kind of reset. And then once you reset on that night, the next night you're fine again. So I haven't had that in a long time. But there are those times when you just can't sleep. And there's nothing going on. You're not excited, or you're not anticipating something happening the next day. Just you can't sleep. Now, I've had a situation like that when I was in the 5th grade. I had a teacher, homeroom, and then I had him for math. No, I had him for history. Math, I had someone else. And Christmas time came. And I wanted to get him a little, prize for Christmas. But you're limited on budget as a kid. It wasn't like I was going to buy him a refrigerator or, a car. going to get him something, something relatively inexpensive. So you have to find something that is decent for that price. And back then, the popular item was a cologne by, I think it was called the $1 Million Cologne or whatever, or $1,000,000, but it was in the shape of a pyramid. And I said, I'll get him that. It's kind of popular on TV. What else am I going to get him? So went to a department store, got it, wrapped it up, had a little card on the side, and then I was nervous all night. I kept getting up and thinking about how am I going to hand it to him. He's not going to like it. He's going to think, oh, he got me this ridiculous thing. And that's what I was thinking. I couldn't sleep, so I was up the entire night. The next day when I went to school, I was all like nervous to give it to him. I thought he was going to be like, oh, I don't use this brand. That was just my imagination running wild. Nobody's going to say that to you. They're going to accept the gift. I mean, you really have to be a vomit bag to tell somebody, I don't like that, I don't use that. You get a gift, you accept it, you say thank you, and that's it. So anyway, the next day I went in, and he was very gracious. I handed him my little prize there, and he was thanking me, and I said, oh, that wasn't that bad. Just my mind was making it bigger than it was actually going to be. So then Christmas vacation came, which I loved. I'd kick him back, and I get a little card in the mail from my teacher. Had my name on it, had his name on the sender's part. I opened it up, and he thanked me. He said, "Thank you so much for the cologne. Now I feel like $1 million." So. Yeah, but I couldn't sleep that night. I thought he was going to toss it back to me and say, "Get this out of my face, this cheap thing you bought me." But now, from my point of view as an older person, I see that there's like zero chance of that happening. I mean, what kind of teacher would, no matter what you get, I could bring this for Christmas to a teacher with a bow, and I'd get a thank you, give this to a teacher, I'd get a thank you. But I thought that they were going to be mean about it. But he wasn't even that type of person. And then when you have those nights where you can't really sleep deep is when you have some kind of, maybe you have the flu, or maybe you have a bad cold, something's going on with your body, and it just won't let you sleep right. You're sleeping a little bit, you're waking up, you're having weird dreams. But when you're feeling healthy and you go to bed and you have dreams, they make zero sense a lot of times. My dreams are, all over the place. When I dream often, but I have dreams, and I wish I could remember them when I wake up in terms of how it goes. But I have dreams where I have composed entire songs in my head, and I'm listening to them at a mall or something on speakers. And I know I've written it because in my dream, first of all, totally original. It's not like I'm listening to some song off the radio. And in my dream, I'm aware that song is something that I made up. Words and music, like the entire thing. It's pretty catchy. I have to remember that, and then I wake up and it evaporates. But that's happened many times throughout my life, where I've had music in the background playing in a dream, like a soundtrack or something to the dream, and it's original. I go, if I can only remember that. But yeah, there was a time, I'm a fan of dreams, but there was a time when, this is way back in the 80s, where I would keep track of all of my dreams. And I'll tell you something amazing about that, but I had a folder with loose leaf papers in there, and every day in the morning when I would wake up, I would write my dream. I would put the date, I would write the description of the dream, little not a little, but a couple of paragraphs, something sometimes longer. Sometimes it would be a page and a half, and I had hundreds of these things. And what I found out is when I was, when I had it in my mind to write the dream out, like in a journal or something, the next day, I would dream. But if I thought about I'm not going to write, I wouldn't have a dream. It's almost like my mind would keep a record of it because it knew that I needed to remember it the next day in order to write it down. So, but I had like a thing that thick of dreams. So, yeah, they're interesting. They don't mean anything in terms of predicting the future. That's, if you want to believe that, that's fine, but that's not my thing. Dreams do not predict the outcome of the next day's events. Having a weird dream doesn't mean that you predicted some death in the family or something like that, because we fit those weird dreams into situations. We reverse engineer them. Like something bad will happen the next day and be like, oh yeah, I had a dream. I was frying fish in a pan and the fish got up and started to dance. And somebody will say, oh, that's not good. That's not good. That means death is coming. And you say, oh, I just had an uncle or something died. But they mean nothing. They mean nothing. It's your mind analyzing things while you sleep. But they're not. You're not a psychic at night. No such thing. Those are all tricks. Those are all tricks. So yeah, but nice out. Couple of cats here that roam around, stray cats. They're pretty friendly now, so they're not angry cats where you get near them and they hiss at you. They're very friendly. One of them comes up to me and likes to get a little petting done, do the little pat, but doesn't stay long, and then goes over there, puts some food down. Had this dream years ago, but I had it quite a few times. It was like my whole family, not just father, mother, and siblings. I'm talking about extended family, uncles, aunts, things like that. We had a secret location somewhere near the ocean. So the ocean was here, and then there was a little hilly area. We'd park the car up here, and then there was a cave, and we'd go into this cave in my dream and go down, and then there was this area of the cave. I guess nobody knew about this except for us, the family, and it was loaded with treasure. It looked like a few $1 billion worth of treasure. Gold, chains, rubies, diamonds, gold bars, you name it. It was in that place. So every time we'd run out of money, we would show up all together in my dream at this location. We would go in the cave, and then we'd grab a handful of whatever, gold chains, whatever, and we put them in a bag, each one of us. And then we'd hang around the front for a little bit, and then we'd leave, only to repeat the process a few months later. So yeah, had that dream. Now, when I had that dream, I was little. Had to be like 3rd, 4th grade, around there, a very long time ago. Delicious. Then I had a dream where I could change into Mighty Isis, but a male version. Because I loved that show. That show was on Saturday mornings, Shazam Isis. And in the dream, I'm on a field trip with my school, and we're in some, I don't even know what that was, but I asked my teacher, I go, hey, I forgot my jacket on the bus, or in the bus, and can I go get it? She goes, oh yeah, go get it. So I go outside, it's just me on the bus, and I see my jacket, grab it, but underneath my seat is a wooden box, and I go, I wonder what that is. So I go under the seat, I grab the box, put it on the seat, flip it open, and just like on the television show, there's a medallion in there, shiny golden medallion with a chain on it. And I go, wow, that's the Mighty Isis medallion, and it was. And this dream was indistinguishable from reality or dream. It looked the same as if I was right here. So I put the medallion on, and I said on the bus, "Oh, Mighty Isis," had the echo and everything. And I changed into a male Isis, had the pants on, had something on, like a bandana on my forehead with the medallion there. And I was able to, I said some words that rhymed. I was able to fly. I was floating around. And then I reversed it because I didn't want anybody noticing. So I thought it was real until I started waking up. And I had, the medallion in my hand when I was waking up. And then when I woke up, I was so annoyed. Very annoyed that it was a dream. I thought I actually found that Egyptian medallion. And then, of course, Shazam. Shazam, that was a brilliant disguise, unlike Superman, who only had the glasses on and everybody was confused. They couldn't tell that was Superman just because the glasses were on his face. Shazam would change into a grown man from a kid. Prior to becoming Shazam, he was this short kid. 18 years old, whatever he was. And then all of a sudden he would utter the word Shazam. The lightning would hit him. He would become taller, older. He had powers. He could fly. Nobody could tell, except, why would you be driving a Winnebago wearing similar colored clothing as Shazam himself with the Shazam logo in the front? Nobody figured that out, that every time this Billy Batson, whatever, comes around, Shazam is also nearby, and then the Billy guy is no longer around when Shazam shows up. Nobody says, wait a minute, there's something funny going on here. Got the Shazam logo. I think these guys are connected somehow to Shazam. Nobody figured that out. But it was a cool show, and because we were not spoiled by being exposed to good CGI back then, because it didn't exist, we looked at Shazam and Mighty Isis as being cutting edge. We thought it was, awesome the way he was flying and all that stuff, the way he was doing all the power moves. You look at it now, though, it's a little bit funny. A little bit funny. But much better than Superman. Superman looked the same as Clark Kent as he did as Superman. What, the glasses fooled people? Got him up. I know the explanation. I have the comic that explains that. And I'm not a comic book guy. But I do have it, and, it explains that with the glasses on, or with the glasses off, he could hypnotize people, and they couldn't recognize him. One or the other. Which is ridiculous. That's what they came up with. The glasses hypnotized. But Shazam looked like a different guy, like the Hulk. Except Shazam was even better than the Hulk. He could fly, he was intelligent, and he could remember what had happened as Shazam. And he had mentors. He had the guidance people. It's like every so often he would visit his guidance counselors. He would, that thing that had all those lights on the Winnebago, that round dome thing. Put his hands, he would say that little rhyme, and then he would go and visit the cartoon ancient gods for the most part. Not all of them were gods, right? Hercules was like half a god, I don't know. But Zeus definitely was a god. Samson, I don't think, was a god. They mixed mythologies there. But anyway, they would give him advice. They were all cartoons giving advice to a real person. Wonder why they didn't get just actors. Probably expensive. Could have gotten a few actors, dress up with beards, and give them advice. Say, come over here, let me give you some advice. We know what's going to happen. You know what I used to find weird when I was a kid? So my father would sing in the car, right? That's not the weird part. So he would sing in the car, and I don't even know how to describe this, but once he would stop singing, like the song would end, and there was a gap between another song, almost like the reality that I was in sounded a little bit different. Or I felt different. I can't even describe it, and it didn't work with the radio. It only worked when it was somebody singing live. So, yeah, I will tell you the distinction between my mother's side of the family and my father's side of the family when it came to music. My mother's side of the family would listen to the deeper, more depressing sounding songs, played in a minor key, very down, lyrically, musically. And my father's side would listen to the cheery music, very happy sounding, upbeat melodies, major chords, all that stuff. And I'm a blend of the two. I enjoy both. Sometimes I listen to the deeper, sadder music, and sometimes I listen to the cheery stuff. But not like my father's side would not. My father's side would not listen to the down stuff, but my mother's side would. Yeah, good music can transform your emotions. It's like magic. And what makes a good melody good? I mean, it's all subjective, but something in our brain hears a good melody and says, I like that. Sounds pleasing. And then other stuff you hear, it's like, oh, I can't hear that. It's like, drains me. So I don't know, it's a universal thing for the most part. When something is really good, like not universal, but a lot of people like it. Not everybody. And then when it's crappy, you have very few people, oh, that's an awesome song. And then you go, what, that song? That's not that good. But music is very strange, the way it just creates emotional feelings. Like they can make you happy, they can make you depressed. You can even feel in love for a brief moment in a song if it's just the right sound, the right melody, right words. It can give you that feeling like you're in love with someone. Briefly, right? And then the song finishes and you're back to normal again. But there's other songs you could be, having a good day, and then you hear that song and it just brings you down. And the reverse is also true. You will hear a song with happy lyrics and then feel, like you want to go jogging, right? And ABBA's the perfect example of the blend of the two. They write sad lyrics, heartbreak, breakups, people cheating on each other, and they marry it to a happy, upbeat melody. You ever hear the music of ABBA? It's all, happy, and then you hear the words and they're all, broke up, cheated on me, that kind of stuff. I wonder if the reverse works, where you write extremely happy lyrics to extremely depressing music. I don't think people would listen to that. But ABBA has made a living. I love ABBA. Big fan of ABBA. Now, this song doesn't fit this category, but ABBA's song, The Day Before You Came, is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. The Day Before You Came. It was never a huge hit, but it was the last song recorded by ABBA before they had that long breakup, because recently they released a very good album, in my opinion. But when they broke up, they went in the studio, recorded the Day Before You Came with the lights low, and then the music faded out, and they walked out of the recording studio, and that was the end for like 40 years, something like that. And then they released, was it Voyage, which was a good album. They recaptured their prime, the way they sounded. It was just beautiful, beautiful music. But I've always been a fan of theirs. Chiquitita, Does Your Mother Know, Name of the Game, so many songs, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. But the song that really speaks to me, The Day Before You Came, everything about it. I love the drums in that. I love the vocals, the lyrics, everything. Even the synthesizers are awesome. But ABBA, they just had a talent. Anything that they put music to sounded great. And the females were great vocalists, both of them. Just tough to pronounce all their names. They're all like syllables, syllables, consonants, without many vowels in between. Yeah. It's my driving music. Whenever I'm feeling kind of like bored in the car, I will flip in ABBA, nice and loud, and ABBA gets me going. ABBA. I had a friend, his last name was ABBA. I'll tell you a funny story about him. During high school, I had a math teacher who wore the same pants every day. Same pants, every day. So me and my friend, we picked up on this. And after a while, we said, hey, well, let's keep track how many days in a row he wears those pants. So on the wall next to me, I would do those lines, like when you're stranded on an island and you do 4 and then you cross the 5th one, and that's 5 days. And so we did that, and I think we got to like 18 days in a row. And then there were beige pants, right? Now he had different pairs, like it wasn't one pair and he'd just wash it. He had a bunch of them, but he just liked that style, so he would wear. He was kind of like those guys like on Bonanza or Gilligan's Island that wear the same clothes every episode. That's how he was at school. Like if you were videotaping him, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was a different day, because every day he wore the same clothes, except for like the shirt was different, but the pants were the same. So we get to 18, and then he came in with blue ones, and then he wore the blue ones for like 3 weeks. But when he broke the streak, we were angry, like, oh man, he wore different pants. So yeah, and he had what was that problem called? Rosacea, is that what it's called? The slightest change in his mood, whether he was ready to laugh, whether he was a little bit annoyed, his face would turn red. I remember when he would get a little bit annoyed, like pissed off in class at some kid, and my friend ABBA, he would say, oh, here he goes, and then the face would turn red, and then it wouldn't go away fast. It would stay red for a while, and I don't think there's much you can do. I don't know, maybe now there is, but back then, yeah, he had that red, like all his blood vessels would burst, or he had tomato paste on his face. But I don't know what. But he had a little bit of a short fuse. If you said something to him that he didn't like, he would give you a little noogie on the head. Back in those days, in certain schools, that was acceptable. Now, not so much. Yeah, last night I was out here, I could see a few stars, not many, and then Jupiter was right over there. Jupiter is a gas giant, but the gas is solid. It's like, or liquid, but it's not a gas, because there's so much gravitational force there that it's almost like when you get a tank of propane and you shake it up, it sounds like there's liquid in there. Well, that's how it is on the surface. But it's not, like if you go to Jupiter, you can't find mountains and things like that. That does not exist. All those planets are gas giants. Uranus is gas giant. Saturn, right? The ones that are not are smaller. Like Jupiter is just slightly too small to be a dwarf star. Doesn't have the gravitational power to create what is it, fusion. So you can't get the nuclear reaction going. So it just remains a gas giant. But if it was a little bit bigger, you'd have a second sun in the solar system. You look up at the sky and you say, "There's another. Looks like a sun there, but it's smaller." Hi, cats. And and then on this side you have Mercury, which kind of weird. It doesn't have an atmosphere, but the side that faces the sun is hundreds of degrees, and then the other side, which is near the sun, is cold. No atmosphere, and the heat just disperses into the universe. That's a rocky planet. Venus, Mars. Of course, us. It's funny, all the moons besides ours, they have names. Europa, you have all these names of all these moons. You don't just call them moon, but our moon is just moon. It doesn't have a name. Maybe it does. I'm unaware of it, though. I mean, we refer to the moon as moon. It's like referring to your dog as dog, cat. You say, "What's your dog's name?" "Oh, it's dog." Our moon does not have a name. I wonder thousands of years ago when they would look at the moon if they thought other people lived on that. Anyway, that's it. Time to go. Capiche?